Hmm. So lovely to see you. Let's start the session with a lie down and a stretch out. So finding a place that feels comfortable for you. I remember that if you feel uncomfortable lying, sometimes it's helpful to think of another position. You might want to do this in sitting, or you might want to put a blanket down so that there's more comfort beneath to support your back or your head or whatever. And then thinking about your head, taking a pillow, a cushion if you want to, and placing your head on that. Otherwise, if your head's just resting on the floor, tuck the chin in a little bit so it lengthens along the back of the neck. And beginning by paying attention to the back and noticing how the spine, the lower back are feeling. So either keeping the knees bent, or if they're okay, extending the legs away, letting the feet flop out to the sides. Having the option of just placing something underneath your knees that takes away the pressure from your lower back. So the neck feels supported, the spine is connected to the ground, and you're not pulling on the lower back. There's lots of options there to support your lower back. Thinking about the position of the legs and the feet, you might want to stay with your feet just hip distance apart, or maybe just shuffle them a little bit further, even to mat distance apart. Allow the feet to release. And then feeling into the shoulders, and I can feel my shoulders wrap around a little bit around my ears. So I'm just going to lift one and then the other. Just have a little wriggle about to create space between the ears and the shoulders. And also take the hands, the arms away from the sides of the body. And if it's possible, turning the palms up towards the ceiling. Allow the fingers and thumbs to softly curl. It gives us the opportunity to have a really open posture. To release into the shoulders. And if the arms are away from the sides of the body, there's a spaciousness there and allows the energy to flow more freely. So as we take the time to adjust and settle into this place, in this moment, it's a real transition. I'm sensing into that. Anchoring the attention in the sensations of the body and the breath. And inviting you at the beginning of this practice to hold all of those experiences with kindness. So looking after any niggles, aches, or discomfort with tenderness, with care and a real sense of self-nurture. And notice the breath, and perhaps an invitation to deepen the breathing a little, so that you take some deep breaths in and then have a feeling of release as you exhale. Of dropping into this moment, into the experiences of the body, the heart and the mind, just as they are right now. knowing that all of your experiences in this moment are either internal or they're coming in from the outside, such as your sense of hearing, the sounds coming in, but the experience is still internal. Your sense doors are open. It's open awareness. Bringing your conscious awareness to the body and the breath. Your feeling tone. Checking in with that. Maybe asking yourself a question. How am I feeling today? Not only in the body, but emotionally. Noticing as you start to drop in, what happens to the breath? To allow a softness to start to move through the body, the softness of the face, of the jaw, of the tongue, the weight of the head, maybe feeling heavy through the softness of the neck and the shoulders. Shoulders, allowing the arms to feel heavy. Softness and ease of the breath. Sensing the softness of your belly. Down through the back, to the lower back, and just carrying on through down to the legs, the knees, the feet and toes. And as you bring your conscious awareness to these parts of the body, noticing the shifts and changes that naturally happen. And in particular, bringing your attention to the center of the body. Not only the rise and fall of the belly, but maybe a little movement with the ribs, the back, or rocking of the pelvis. Very gently, in your own time, starting to bring your body into a little bit of movement. There might just be a rolling of the thumb and the first finger together. Maybe you're feeling like you want to move immediately into a stretch or something in between. So feeling into what the body needs today, whether you're going to take it softly and slowly, or if there's a robustness, a resilience, a need to really move the body a little bit more. Just noticing what's here. Keeping that awareness of the breath all the while as you bring your body into gentle, kindly movement. Just taking care, just feeling into what the body needs today. So encouraging you, if you haven't done so already, to have a good stretch, taking the arms up, pushing the heels, lengthening through the spine, pointing the toes. And then bending both knees, placing the feet hip distance apart. And adjusting the lower back. I always need to. So I always just sort of lift up my pelvis a bit and tilt it. I engage my core and sort of settle the majority of the spine down onto the floor. If your head's on a block or a cushion, just taking that away so there's a connection with the spine, the back, the neck, towards the floor, towards the mat. Now just keeping that attention or paying attention once more to your belly, feeling the rise and fall. And next time you breathe out, contracting through the pelvic floor, bringing the belly button to the base of the spine, pressing down into the feet just a little. And then as you breathe in again, just allowing the pelvis to come back to neutral, the belly expands. So we're going to gently rock, using the breath as a mechanism to encourage this movement. And as you're going through this, either really gently or quite strongly, feeling the massaging sensations in the lower back. Just gently rocking the pelvis back and forth, pressing down into the feet, keeping the lower back on the floor so that it's a gentle massage. Just up and back, awakening the lower spine a little. And then coming back to neutral, imagine there's a big dinner plate on your belly and there's a marble at the top towards your rib cage. So you're quite contracted at the moment. And using your pelvis and your lower back and your hips, we're going to just take that marble around on the dinner plate to the side and then down to the other side and back up. So you're circling around a little bit. Your lower back will come up off the mat. And it's as if you're tracing a really big circle around your lower back, going down to your tailbone, over to the side. Oh, it's nice to pay attention to the lower back in this way. You might feel some tender spots as you do this, so being gentle on yourself. Connected to the breath. And then next time that marble comes up, the imaginary marble, up to your ribs, just having a pause, and then easing it round on the dinner plate, around in the other direction. Remembering to contract as much as you can through the core, pelvic floor. Really sensing into that solar plexus area, that place of fire and energy in the center of your body with our chakras. The drive. Good. And then easing back to a neutral position. Take a breath in, breathing out, bring the knees to the chest, towards the chest. Give them a hug. Relaxing the shoulders. Maybe circling the ankles around as you're just holding the knees in that way. Point the toes. And then taking them back the other way round. Lovely. And then gently place the feet back down on the mat. So we're going to be doing some paying attention to the core, and going to be doing some strengthening and stretching actually of the core today. I mean, we do it every time without us really necessarily bringing our attention to it, but today we are going to focus on this. So we're going to be doing that at the front and the back. So the core is not just your superficial abdominal muscle, it's all the muscles in between, muscles that attach to the spine and so on. So let's just start with bringing our feet to hip distance apart, really spreading the toes and drawing in the tummy button again down to the base of the spine. And as we go into these movements, it's protecting your neck if you need to. So we're going to do some very slow sit-up kind of movements. So if your head and if your neck is sore, you might want to support the weight of your head as you come up. But otherwise, placing your hands on your thighs, contracting everything in nice and strong. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, just sliding your hands up towards your knees a little bit and then slowly down. So it's not about lifting your head up, way up off the floor, but you're coming up off your shoulders. You don't need to get your fingers anywhere near your knees. It's just feeling as you come up and back that you're connecting in through the core. And as you come back down, doing so as slowly as you can. As you come up and back, sliding those hands up the legs. And really contracting in. If this is starting to hurt the neck, you might want to take your hands around the back of the head. And then gently just resting the head. Give it a wobble. Nice deep breath. Let the belly expand. Good. And then we are going to take the left hand around the back of the head. Take the right hand across to the top of the left leg. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, sliding that hand up the left leg and back down. So the left hand supporting the head, the right hand is going up the left leg and back down. So just working across the body a little, feeling the breath. Noticing what it's like to be exercising the muscles in the center of your body in this way. Lifting the head up as much or as little as you're able to. And then gently back down, have a little pause. You might feel that there's an experience of sensation across the diagonal, and then crossing the other side. So the right hand around the back of the head, left hand over to the top of the right leg. And as you exhale, feel that you're easing up and down. Good. Feeling the breath in the body, the contraction, really paying attention to the center of the body. And then slowly back down. Just have a pause, maybe place the hands on the belly, or maybe even give the belly a bit of a rub. Just go in a clockwise direction around the belly, just to Give it some attention. Lovely. And then have a stretch. Take the arms up. So you're opening through the front of the body. Push the heels away. And we're going to turn over onto the tummy. So we're going to do some exercises that use the back muscles. Obviously, just doing what you feel able to do. But starting off first with resting one hand on top of the other, if that's possible for you, and rest your forehead on your hands. If you can't do that with your arms, you can rest both arms down by the sides or wherever and just turn the head a little bit to the side so you're not scrunching into your nose. And then checking in with your shoulders and your hips. If your shoulders feel a little bit constricted, you can move one elbow forward and then the other. And then similarly with the legs, you can just lift one leg up and take it away, and then the other, so that the legs are parallel. Good. Great. Lovely. So you're sort of just resting your forehead either on your hands or with your arms down either side. And we're going to start with paying attention to the legs. So first of all, I'd like you to contract in through the core. So you're going to sort of tip the tailbone as if it's going down towards your ankles. And then we're going to lift and lower the right leg, the whole of the right leg. So breathing in, and next time you breathe out, put that right leg up and then down. So the knee stays soft, but you're really contracting in through the core and exercising the lower back. When you bring your leg down, doing so slowly. Good, nice. Just taking it a little bit higher each time if that's possible. So the whole of the leg comes up off the floor. Good. And then rest that leg. Just have a moment, a couple of breaths in and out before we take it over to the left side. Lifting and lowering. Keeping the core nice and strong so that your pelvic floor, your tummy muscles, if you're drawing your belly button still up to the base of your spine, like we did when we were lying on the back. Good. And then slowly down. Have a little rest, couple of breaths. And then we're going to lift and lower both legs if your lower back is okay to do that. And obviously you're not going to be able to lift both legs up as high as you do one. So keeping them in parallel with each other, breathing in and breathing out. Lift and lower. See if you can get both legs off the floor, but at least come up beyond the knees if that's possible for you. If it's too sore on your lower back, which it might be, then just do one and then the other alternately. Remembering to keep the core contracted. The legs are parallel to each other. And then gently and slowly down. Maybe have a little wriggle around of the lower back just to ease it off a bit. Okay, so we're going to take the arms into different places with this movement. So starting off firstly, if you're able to with the arms extended. If you can't do that, then just bending them to wherever you can, but keep the forehead on the floor for a moment. And then we're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, you lift the arms and the forehead up off the floor. Keep looking down and then come back down. Contracting through the core, just lifting and lowering the upper back. Feel the breath. Good. And then slowly down. And then taking the arms out like an aeroplane. Just going to move over a little bit. So they're not completely straight. They're sort of a little bit forward. Breathing in, breathing out, lifting the body up and down. Looking down at the floor as you lift your head and your upper body up. And keep the tailbone coming down towards your heels. Good, well done. And then we're going to go into cactus arms. So that means your elbows are at shoulder height and your elbows are bent. And first of all, we're going to do this with the forehead on the floor. So take a breath in, breathe out, lift the arms up and then down. So the forehead remains on the floor for the moment. Doing that 4 times in that way. And then the next time we're going to lift, after you're contracting the core, the tailbone's going down to the heels. You lift your forehead up and then down. So the top half of your body is coming up off the floor and then down. See how high you can come up. So you're lifting your forehead up off the floor as well as your arms. And then down. That's it. You've got it. Coming up. Nice one, Lisa. Coming up. And good. And then gently release. Just have a little shimmy about, a wobble of your lower back and your shoulders. And then we're going to have a go at lifting everything up and down. So extend the arms away again, or get into a position with the arms where they feel comfortable. And we're going to lift and lower the legs and the arms and the forehead. Come up and then slowly back down. Oh, so really feeling into all those lovely muscles of the body working. Knowing that you're really taking care of your body. Lifting your lower legs and your upper thighs as much as you possibly can. Good. And then gently ease yourself back down to the floor, up and back into child. So separate the knees, bring your forehead to the floor, both arms down either side. Just rounding the back, let the back stretch and release. Just notice the breath. It's been quite aerobic. just doing that. So notice how you're breathing. And see if you can breathe into your lower back. Well done. And then gently easing yourself up to kneeling. So if you have problems with kneeling, sometimes it's helpful to just pop a block around the back or a cushion or whatever you can to enable you to feel upright, and it just takes a little bit of pressure off the knees. And let's just take a few moments to roll the shoulders. Small movements to begin with, and then taking the elbows around. Obviously, just really taking care of your shoulders and paying attention to what your body can do. Okay. And just feeling that, being in that position of lengthening up through the spine, through the top of the head. Take a breath in, breathing out, ease the head down to the right. As you breathe in, lifting the head back up. As you breathe out, go the other way. So just sensing into the neck and shoulders. Let the head ease from side to side. And maybe hearing little noises as you do this, which is perfectly okay. Just taking your time to stretch from one side to the other. And then taking that head around, so you're turning to the right, then tracing the chin down from the collarbone around to the center, back to the other side, and then coming up and across again. So just circling the head, feeling into the neck. Not overextending, just sensing into what it's like to pay attention to the neck. And then just having a pause as you end up at the left side next time, and then going in reverse, so tracing down, around, coming to the right and across. The shoulders are nice and soft. Feeling the flow, breath in the body. Good. And then gently easing yourself back up with your head, maybe a couple of rolls of the shoulders now, just to ease into place. Good. Oh, all right. So we're going to come into cat. And knowing that you can modify cat if you like. So if it's hard on your wrists or your forearms or elbows, that again, you can stay in that seated position. You might want to have a couple of cushions so that it really brings you up quite high. But if you're doing sitting cat, you can just take your fingers and your thumb into the center and your thumbs on the outside edge and round like that. Otherwise, just coming into that stable cat posture. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, drawing through the pelvic floor, really connecting with those core muscles again, rounding the back to the ceiling, tucking the chin down, and then softly releasing them, and a flowing movement as you bring your head elbows are soft and gentle, so there's not any rigidity in this movement. It's flowing, and it can be really slow and gentle movement, or it can actually be quite strong if you wish. Press down into the hands and the knees, the shins, taking your spine, if you want to its full range of movement. And bringing some more movement into the body now. So you might just want to rock a little bit back and forth, bending through the elbows. You feel into one vertebra at a time, releasing muscles, stretching them, opening them in the ways that they were designed to be. And then just finding that neutral place. And we're going to go into lizard. So that means that you take your hands over to the left a little. So particularly your right hand, you shift over to the left. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, bring your right foot to the outer edge of your mat. So your right foot is outside your hands, if you see what I mean. And bending through your knee. The knee does not go beyond being above the right ankle. And breathe. It's always a good thing to do, but really let that right hip release. And as you do that, you'll also feel the top of the left leg is really stretching. If it's hard to rest on your hands like that, you could just come up onto your fingertips, or actually if you wanted to, you could hold onto a wall, or just allow your upper body to be more upright. The arms either come to the side or to be on the knee. So yeah, if you find it hard to get the pressure down through the hands, then you can modify it by coming up a little. So breathe. Really feel that stretch, that open. And then ease yourself back. Bring the hands back into the center. Have a little pause for a moment. Feel into the top of the left leg and the right leg and see if there's a difference. And then moving the hands over to the right side now, breathing in, breathing out. Take the left foot forwards. Modifying it as you wish. Good. And then really opening into the hip as you let the pelvis sink down. Feel the breath in the body. Let's keep the head nice and released. Maybe give it a little bit of a wobble. Good. And then from that position, we're just going to tuck the toes under of the right leg. Just wriggle that front foot into the center point, and we're going to come around into a hanging forward bend. So you've got a nice wide angle stretch, standing stretch. Just let the head release. Good. And then slowly, slowly walk the feet in towards each other, softening through the knees, and then gently come on up to standing. Nice. Well done. When you get there, a roll of the shoulders, a shake of the legs. And here we are, standing upright. So let's come into mountain, really spreading the toes, acclimatizing ourselves to being upright. And in particular, feeling the sensations in the belly and the lower back. So if you have a tendency for your back to do that, which I do, just tucking everything in for the tail to go down towards the floor, so really drawing in through the core. The arms down by the sides. So there's a sense of lengthening through the body, particularly in this part of the body. So today, because that's what we're paying attention to, just feeling that lengthening sensation right up through from the pubic bone, right up to the front of the body, right up to here, so I can feel it too. Lovely. Just feeling that stability through your feet. The breath. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to ease ourselves through a beautiful sequence that I really love and we have done before, is Mother Earth sequence. So we're going to separate the feet a little bit. And as we go through this sequence, really keeping that consideration for our core, for our back, and we're going to be doing a lot of sort of gentle bending of the knees. So for some of you, you might want to go into quite a deep squat. And other times you might want to keep it really shallow. And obviously, if you've got a problem with your arms or shoulders, when we're bringing the arms up and down, just doing what you can do. All right, so this can be soft, it can be quite strong, depending on how you're feeling today. So just turning the feet out a little bit to give yourself the opportunity when we do go into a squat, the knees to head out over the ankles, the feet. And first of all, starting with the fingertips touching each other, closing the eyes. And then some lovely long breaths in and out. This is the Mother Earth sequence, so we're really connecting with the earth beneath us. Feeling Mother Earth supporting us as we ease ourselves through this practice. And knowing that you can go at any speed you wish to, you're following your own breath. So just starting with your knees nice and soft. Next time you breathe in, let the arms come up towards the throat and then turn the palms over so they're coming back down. Making sure the core, you're connected to the core. Go through each set 4 times. So next time, and when you've done 4, you're going to bring the hands up to the throat, just as you were before. And as you turn the palms down, you're starting to bring your knees down. You might want to go into a really deep squat. Bring your hands forwards, up as you come out of the squat and down. Or you can just have very soft knees, so you don't go down too far at all. So you bring your hands up to the throat, Turn the palms down. You might just want to do a gentle movement like I'm doing now. And your palms forwards and up. Feeling the breath. And down. And as you get into a rhythm, you may wish to close your eyes. So that's 2 sets of that. So we've got 2 more to go. Keeping the back nice and straight if you're going into a deep squat. Having a pause there for a moment when you've done 4. Put your fingers together, noticing the breath, any sensations in the body. And then inviting you to turn to the right. So we're just going to turn the feet as well. So the feet line up. And we're going to do exactly that same move again. Breathing in. Bringing the hands to the throat, turning the palms, and as you breathe out, bending through the knee, reaching forwards, drawing in through the core, really activating the core. As you breathe out, let the arms float down by their sides. Watching your knees, taking care. You can keep your eyes softly open or completely close them. Just bringing some softness into the arms, let the core stabilize you. Feeling the flow and the meditative nature of this movement. You've done that 4 times, just having a pause with the fingertips together, maybe closing your eyes, feeling the breath, maybe starting to feel the energy, the warmth in your hands tingling. And then we're going to change very slowly around to the left side. So just ease yourself in the other direction. Breathing in, breathing out, pushing forwards. Bring the arms up as much as you feel comfortable to do. Allowing the sensations of the breath to lead the movement. So as your body wants to breathe in, just let the arms come up. And as it wants to breathe out, the arms come down and forwards. No strain. It's just a sense of stability in the center of your body. And when you've done that 4 times, just pausing coming back to the center. And you might want to separate your feet a little bit further because we are going to go down into more of a squat now. So making sure you're stable. Breathing in. Bring the hands up once more. As you breathe out, we're going to come down towards the floor and pick up a cup of loving kindness. Draw it up through the body. You might have a colour. And then surround yourself with loving kindness. Keep your core nice and strong. Tummy button to the base of the spine. Let the tailbone come down as you draw. That beautiful golden, it was gold for me, golden cup of loving kindness. Good. And then just shuffling your feet in a little bit. Just holding your hands just a little bit apart. And bounce your hands in and out towards each other. You might want to close your eyes. Just if there's anything there, if you can feel anything like a little balloon of energy, a ball of energy. If you can, then you might want to separate your hands a little bit more as that ball of energy gets a bit bigger. If you can't find it, you might want to take your hands closer to each other. Maybe just ease around to see that it's not just two-dimensional, but it's there. Feeling that really gentle resistance as you softly and gently feel into that ball. And then holding that with such kindness and considering a part of your body or your emotions, your thoughts that might feel like they need a little bit of healing energy. And to gently allow your hands to take that ball of energy to a place that feels in need of your care and your attention. Whether it's a physical place that needs healing or something else. Close the eyes if that's possible for you. Feeling into the sensations in your hands. Allow that energy to seep into the body. Travel to wherever you need it the most in this moment. And very gently, just stroking that area and easing yourself from that by having a shake the arms, shake the legs really gently. Maybe just stand here in mountain for a little while just to notice how you feel in your hands. My hands are red hot to see if your hands feel the same. They might have cooled right down. They might be a bit tingly, fizzy. Okay, and have a roll of the shoulders. All right, so we're going to ease ourselves into a balancing posture. So it might be that you want to find something that you can lean on to rest on as we go into this. I'm going to start with the feet hip distance apart. As always, standing up nice and tall. And taking hold of the right ankle. So you're bringing your knees together. Just take a little time to find your stability. And take the left arm up to the ceiling. So holding onto the ankle if that's possible, drawing in through the core once more. So this is really using your core to stay anchored and centered. As you take a breath in and as you breathe out, easing your hand forward. Now I'm going to show you the modification. That's why I've stood here, is to hold on to something and let the leg come back as much as you're able to. Drawing in through your core, really lifting up out of the waist. Good, well done. So if you can, see if you can go forwards a little bit more so that you're becoming more in line with the floor. And breathe. Holding that pose if you're able to. And then easing yourself out of it. Lovely, well done. Nice. And then ease yourself out of it when you're ready. Just have a stand back in mountain. And then taking your body weight over to your right leg. And bring your left foot up. Finding your stability. Your knees together, drawing in through the core. Tailbone down towards the floor. The right arm coming up. And when you're ready, hinging through that right hip as you come forwards, and the left foot goes away from you. And feel the need to really connect with your core to keep that stability. And have a little play around with it. So there's an edge. There's always an edge where it feels like, oh, I'm going to topple. So just play with that edge. It helps you to play with the edge in life. Become more resilient. Notice if you contracting through your core, what happens to your stability. Find something to really look at to keep you focused and stable. And when you're ready, well done, nice modifications. That's lovely, Linda R. Just coming on out of it. Just have a good shake. Good. Well done. And just a little bit of a go over the shoulders, easing the hips from side to side. Lovely. So we've done, that was a a back bend. So let's go into a counter pose of a forward bend. Hands on the thighs, just very gently let the hands slide down the legs. Feel the opening of the back. Release into the neck, the head, the shoulders. And then bring your fingertips underneath your toes. So the knees might need to be really bent to get there. And then take a breath in, if you can, breathing out, straightening the legs as much as you can, and drawing your body towards the legs. Are you feeling the opening of the back? And then bending through the knees once more and ease yourself back up to standing. Lovely. Have a roll the shoulders. Separate the feet to about hip distance apart and let's have a beautiful twist. So just let the hands flop against the sides of the body. And then take the hands a little higher and just give your shoulder a little bit of a pat as you do that. And perhaps take that, so cupping your hand and maybe take it a little bit lower. So down through your waist and give your waist a bit of a pat. Maybe a bit lower. So going across your core, patting down into your hip. Just a free flowing, easy, gentle twist. And then slowly allow that movement to come to stillness. Standing back in mountain, bring your hands into prayer. Feeling the stability, the ease of this posture. And then as we stand here, considering what the body needs now, as we go into just resting it at the end of the session. So you might want to stay standing or lie down on the back, sides or tummy. You might want to place your legs up the wall or resting on a sofa. So just finding a place that feels comfortable for you. You might want to put your socks on. So just easing yourself from mountain, coming into a comfortable position. Just as we have 5 minutes or so to feel the effects of the practice. To allow all those energies that we've worked with to flow through the body, perhaps more freely. And as you adopt your comfortable position, whatever that is, see if you can tune into that. I always like to pay attention to the areas of the body that feel enlivened and woken up by that practice. Parts of the body I wasn't really so connected to beforehand. Let's see if this is available to you. maybe having a little play around with the posture and see what your body needs right now. So often we get into quite a habit of how we lie or rest at the end of a class, and just see if there's anything else there that might be more supportive. Aware of the breath, the physical sensations of the body. And as you lie there, resting and relaxing, I'm going to read to you a poem by Mary Oliver entitled Mysteries, Yes. Truly, we live with mysteries too marvellous to be understood. How grass can be nourishing in the mouths of the lambs. How rivers and stones are forever in allegiance with gravity, while we ourselves dream of rising. How two hands touch and the bonds will never be broken. How people come from delight or the scars of damage to the comfort of a poem. Let me keep my distance always from those who think they have the answers. Let me keep company always with those who say, look, and laugh in astonishment and bow their heads. Feeling the rise and fall of the belly with the breath. Perhaps noticing the energy in this part of the body, in the center of the body, in the lower back, the middle of the back, the sides. These areas we've paid attention to today. And then allow your hand to find your belly and just give it a little bit of a massage in a clockwise direction. Just gently easing around that, taking care. Lovely. And then slowly bringing yourself into a long stretch or a hug of the knees or whatever else you feel you'd like us to do right now. Slowly starting to move the body if you wish to, otherwise you can stay just as you are. Really taking care as you come back into movement with kindness. Slowly ease yourself up to sitting when you're ready. And interlacing the fingers and the palms up to the ceiling as you take a breath in. And as you breathe out, just gently let the hands, the arms come down. Arms together, feeling the temperature, maybe the warmth or the coolness. Namaste. Thank you very much.